Nick Sakiewicz is no stranger to this program. He's the commissioner of the National Lacrosse League. The president of the Tewarton Lacrosse League is Lewis Staats, and they're joining us on a three-way call here today, and I'm very much looking forward to the chat. I want to say good day, Commissioner. Nick, how are you, sir?
Good, Rod. How are you? Great to be here. Great to see you, Lewis. Great to see you, Lewis.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
I love that. I can't wait to hear from Lewis, too, and I got to ask you about that surname as well. That's an amazing name for being in sports. Nick, let's jump right into your news, the announcement and your affiliation here with the TLL, and then we'll get into some other business stuff. But what are we talking about here today, Nick?
Yeah, we're talking about the NLL's grassroots initiatives. You know, we started this about 5 years ago. It's pretty well known that lacrosse throughout North America, Canada, the U.S., and really throughout the world has been a very fragmented sport. Lots of different associations, lots of different governing bodies, lots of youth and professional leagues. And what we're trying to do is pull it all together and get everybody in the same sandbox and supporting each other with an eye to growing the game. And when Lewis and his organization came to us and they shared with us their vision of what they want to do to really help young lacrosse players in that part of Canada, we absolutely want to support that effort. So we're partnering with the Tewarton Lacrosse League to host a combine event. And I don't want to steal Lewis's thunder. I'll let him talk about that. But really, this for the NLL is about supporting really all walks of life in the industry of lacrosse, and really try to be the glue that brings together all these different constituencies that have a passion for the game, looking to grow the game at the grassroots level, and for our league to do whatever we can do to help support those interested in growing the game.
I love it, and congratulations on that. And over to you, Lewis, if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about your league, because I'm not as familiar with it, and what has you excited about having your kids aspire to obviously playing in the NLL?
Okay, so our league is a newly formed league. The Tewarton Lacrosse League is from, I guess the seed of it is from a group of individuals here in Ontario that have participated in the Ontario Junior League and Ontario Lacrosse League for many, many years. So we've been involved in that, and from our perspective, we were just looking at an ability to make some change in terms of the playing of the game, what we were doing. As Nick mentioned, a lot of our kids that are playing in the leagues have aspirations for the NLL, and we want to do our very best to make sure that they're ready for that on all levels. So we went out on our own. We forged ahead, like many things. When you start talking about change, change brings reactions, different reactions from different people. The people that are involved in what you want to change really don't like change all that much. So we're working our way through some growing pains with all of that. But ultimately, our goal is to continue to grow the game of lacrosse. And being situated here where I am on the Six Nations of the Grand River First Nation here in Southern Ontario, which is the largest First Nation in Canada population-wise, we have a rich history. The Iroquois people have a rich history in lacrosse, and we understand the deep cultural aspects of the game, but also we understand that we're also here to provide support and education and things like that for our kids to get where they want to go, and in lacrosse, where they want to go is to play in the NLL.
Tell me, Lewis, then about the combine, if you don't mind. What's going to go on there? When is it? Where is it? And what are you hoping to get out of it?
Yeah, so the combine event that we're hosting in conjunction with NLL is going to be held in St. Catharines, Ontario. Again, a local lacrosse hotbed here, or hotbed zone in Southern Ontario, at the Meridian Centre, which is the main arena complex in St. Catharines. It's going to take place on August 21st and 22nd, so a couple of weekends from now. And we're hoping to get 80 players registered to participate in this. So again, it's the idea is it's a showcase event. It's a combine showcase event, and we'll work very closely with the NLL to make sure that we can get together what they would like to see. The plan is we're going to have six games, six scrimmage games between. We're going to divide the 80 players into 4 teams and have scrimmage games over Saturday and Sunday. Give the NLL GMs, coaches, etc. personnel a chance to look at these kids. Some they haven't seen play lacrosse in 2 years. So we're looking forward to that, excited about that, and just hoping that we can, we can assist these the young lacrosse players that we're talking about here to get to wherever they want to get to, whether it's the NLL, maybe it's school, whatever it is in life. We want to try to help them with our, based on our principles of collaboration, education, and inclusion with our league.
Well, congratulations on this, and I appreciate Lee Genier lining this all up, this interview today, and helping facilitate this. Nick, do you have any more on the combine of this association before I fire a few different things at you?
No, I just want to say great to see you, Lewis. We're excited to be partnering with you, and hopefully this is the start of many great things to come. And we just want to bring the sport of lacrosse together and be as collaborative and inclusive as we possibly can be to support the game.
Awesome. And I got to say this, Nick. So I go to these Rush games, and I'm sitting with my buddies, and I'll never forget one was looking at the program. He's like, these guys are all from lower mainland BC and southern Ontario, right? Like that's the hotbeds of lacrosse in Canada. You've realized as the commissioner, Canadians love lacrosse, and particularly in those areas, hey?
Oh yeah, it's serious business in Canada, and it's we're pretty excited about all of that seriousness of box lacrosse dripping down into the United States. There's a lot of young kids here in the U.S. as well that are getting lit up on the game, and our job and our responsibility as the top league in the world, lacrosse league in the world, is to help facilitate that dream and to help make that happen. So it's exciting. It's great to see all those players come from those hotbeds, and yeah, it's serious business, and it's getting bigger.
What does it mean, Lewis? One more for you. The viewers, by the way, are loving your surname, Lewis Staats. By the way, so am I. I mean, not very common. Perfect name for the president of a sports league. What? Talk about that. That must be a fun conversation starter.
Well, I always correct everybody, Rod, and tell them that I pronounce it Staats, so that keeps me away from that conversation. But,
okay, Staats.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're really excited. I mean, my background, like I've been involved in this league. Like I have 5 Minto Cup championship rings, like from our Six Nations Aerial Lacrosse program here, and I've also got experience and years in the NLL. I was the president of the Rochester Nighthawks for 7 years prior to Nick joining the league as commissioner. But I was there for the run when from 2012 to 2014 as the president of the Nighthawks when they won the NLL championship 3 years in a row.
Well, I got to say, hey, congratulations, by the way, and I'm glad we got that cleared up. So it's Staats. But I got to ask you, what does it do to the First Nations kids to see the First Nations players? Because we've got a young First Nations hockey player from here by the name of Ethan Bear, just traded from the Edmonton Oilers to the Carolina Hurricanes. And my God, he's from the Ochapowace First Nation. He just gives them something to aspire to, obviously, athletically. Obviously, these pro lacrosse players that have come from First Nations descent are huge symbols of what the youth could achieve.
Exactly, and we have a number of them. I mean, Nick's very familiar with all of the stars and NLL stars that come out of Six Nations and also from the Onondaga Nation in Syracuse. The Thompson brothers, obviously, right now are very well known. You'd know them well too, Rod, with the play that they had out there and with the Rush too. So again, it's funny because when people talk about that, when they come into our community, how you see a lot of kids playing hockey and things in the outdoors, that you always get the comments on here at Six Nation when they're driving around. All they see is lacrosse nets and the little kids, the youngest kids walking around or in the community in their yards. They got lacrosse sticks in their hand, not hockey sticks. So again, it's we just need to continue on that journey. We're going to do whatever we can to continue to grow the game and make it better for everyone involved.
Well, pre-COVID, I drove around this province speaking to communities at a variety of events, and I see kids playing lacrosse out where they were playing baseball or were playing road hockey. Darren's nodding his head. He's seen it too. So it's happening in this province too. So, Nick, I got to ask you this. Las Vegas, when that announcement came out and you please fill me in here. Wayne Gretzky is the only name I'm stuck on, but Dustin Johnson, obviously, and Steve Nash. Whoa, how did you keep that thing under wraps? And how did this come to be?
Yeah, that wasn't easy. We actually had consummated that deal in early January. We worked on it all last year throughout COVID, and even prior to COVID hitting, we had a couple of very interested groups in that marketplace. Connected with Wayne in late 2018, early 2019, got this amazing story about Wayne's a love and passion for the sport of lacrosse, and how it heard this great story about how it helped him dramatically in his hockey training and his hockey career, and it was just a wonderful story. So it all came together last year throughout COVID. We were kind of bored; we didn't have anything to do, so we signed up 2 expansion teams, one in Fort Worth, which is starting this year, and then Vegas will start next year. And then we consummated the deal in January, but then Wayne's dad fell ill, and we just didn't think it was appropriate to he wanted to be involved in the announcement, and we didn't think it would be appropriate to do it at that time. So he had to get through what he had to get through with his dad, God rest his soul, and it was a very important part of his life. And we just delayed it out until June when we made the announcement, and it was a great announcement in Vegas. He's going to be an awesome, very engaged owner in our league. He's partnered with another great Canadian who grew up playing lacrosse in BC, Steve Nash, as well as Dustin Johnson, who's his son-in-law. And then, of course, Joe Ty is their partner as well. So really exciting announcement. Our 15th team. It's over the last 5 years, our franchise values in the NLL have grown by 11.5 times, and we're really proud of that. And it just speaks to what a great investment it is to be in the NLL. It's still early days. We have many more markets to expand into and grow into, and more opportunities for investors to be part of the league. But that was a big one. That's going to go on the NLL timeline as a oh wow moment in the history of the NLL.
I just want to say congratulations again. And I just got up that morning and opened my email, and it was like, because it hadn't leaked. I make so good job on that, because I know how hard that is in sports these days. And Las Vegas just exploding as the sports capital of North America. No longer the entertainment capital and gaming. It is the sports capital right now, too. And I got to mention, too, for your ardent fans, of which I'm one, and we're season ticket holders here, what's the update on this season? On track for December tip-off?
Yeah, very, very much so. December 3rd is opening night, first face-off. We've announced a selection of home games that will be launching. We're deep in the schedule development. We announced a landmark TSN deal. We'll have 20 games of the week on TSN linear television. That'll be the first time ever for the National Lacrosse League, coast to coast in Canada. And then we'll have every single game live streamed on TSN Go, as well as the playoffs and the championship. So broad distribution TV deal with TSN. I'm actually going up there in a couple weeks to visit with our new partners there. They're excited. We're excited about that. And we're also close to a very similar deal here in the United States for the U.S. fans. So, really excited about this upcoming season. We haven't played in a while. We just got to get back to playing lacrosse.
Awesome. Nelson Hackowicz, one of our viewers, says all the praise to Nick for the TSN TV deal. And that's where the NLL came on my radar, Nick, was in the 90s on TSN. Because I say, if you put it on, we'll watch it. And we did. So it kind of feels like you're going home in that regard. Lewis, congratulations on this and all the great things that you've done. I appreciate the time. And Nick, as always, don't be a stranger, and enjoy the rest of summer and continued success with all these great announcements.
No, I appreciate it. I'm headed up north. I'm headed up north in a couple weeks, and I can't wait.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Nick Sakiewicz, the commissioner of the National Lacrosse League, and Lewis Staats, the president of the Terwatton Lacrosse League. Combine coming up in St. Catharines, Ontario. All good stuff.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of the Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.